we're good to officially start the interview, man.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, you probably seeing us on our little camera webcam on the laptop, but we got to
That's cool,
stream
though. At least
up
I'm
on.
seeing. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
man, we're gonna
For
be
sure.
looking at our cameras and stuff we got set up here, man. But Droid, nice to finally meet you, and man, LC, I want you to do like the whole introduction, man, because y'all been communicating more than us two.
Man, and
We
I
gotta
just
change that too. Let's get the group chat going.
we
man.
do got to get the group
Absolutely,
chat
because
going.
I was low key. I ain't gonna lie, I was low key salty. Like he'd be like, I've been texting, hey Droid, he said this. I'm like, damn.
He was acting salty, like he ain't hit me.
I'm like, did he message?
Start adding Fredo in the stories. I'm like, damn, let me start adding my name Fredo, bro.
Man, I'm over here salty. Like, dang, man. I wonder if he know who I am.
For sure, man. But I always tell people to send me DMs, and I get a ton of them. I do my best to read them all. I try and respond. But when I got yours, man, I literally jumped out of my seat because I had to read it like 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, wait a second. Not only was that one of my all-time favorite songs off the Sticker album, I was like, you're the producer? And then when I clicked on your page, I'm like, all right, this is somebody playing games with me. I'm like, I don't believe it. I'm like, this ain't real. And I called Fredo right after. I said, bruh, one of the producers hit me up. And he was like, for real? And, man, ever since then, man, we've been chopping it up the past couple days. I could tell that you're a like-minded brother. And I'm blessed to finally, like, be able to see your face and officially meet you, man. This is going to be a great interview. Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, man. So if you could, man, just take the time and introduce yourself to the people and give us your story, man. What's your story? We need to know.
Yeah, start from the beginning.
First of all, I'm Droid. Man, I mean, super producer, I guess you could say. I mean, I've done a lot of songs from T-Pain to Iggy Azalea. I mean, EXO, NCT, Red Velvet, BTS, you name it.
Oh my God!
What?
Yeah. I mean, I'm from Buffalo, New York, so we the real upstate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to Ohio as well. I got family out there in the Natty.
Oh,
that's
man,
dope.
you got
That's
family
dope.
right down the street.
I got family right down the street. You know what I mean? I actually go out there often, so it's crazy that y'all from there. But yeah, I've been a drummer mostly all my life. I think from about everybody say the age of 3, so I'm gonna go up to 4. You know what I'm saying? For the age of 4 until like I still play to this day. I went to Full Sail University for music business and music engineering. That's where I kind of picked up the music production vibe. I was gonna go to Berkeley School of Music, but then I actually got into music production probably around like 2009. So I really haven't like been doing it that long per se. But yeah, ever since then I ended up moving to Florida, Orlando, Florida. I stayed there a majority of my life after high school, and then I ended up moving to California. That's where like a lot of the things started brewing up. I met my manager in Florida, but he ended up moving to California before me, and just things started happening there, and then it's just been up from there.
Yeah, for sure. What I want to ask you to start off with is take me back to the very first K-pop song that you heard, or just your introduction to K-pop specifically.
Okay, so my introduction to K-pop, this was like before. Well, actually, this is the song that got me my deal. Was a song by Red Velvet called "One of These Nights," but it was a remix though. So I think it was the English version I ended up doing, I think it was the English version I ended up doing. It was with a guy named Joe Millionaire, who was also very popular in the K-pop scene, and I did that, and that was mainly my introduction there. That Red Velvet record, which was really fly, by the way. I ain't gonna lie, it was more like an R&B. I did mostly like piano and drums on there, and I think piano, drums, and like something else. But that was like my introduction there, which was fire. I liked that Red Velvet a lot. That was like my first and only time working with them too. Like I gotta complain about that.
What? Yeah, man. I mean that is amazing. So, tell me a little bit about the process of just, actually sending in a demo to these big labels and how it works or everything. We're clueless and we're extremely interested to know, the process.
Yes. So, I mean, basically, I'm going to say 2 things. In the situation, sending demos is more it's a little easier because they're very like organized as far as like letting us know what they want, how they want it, what's going to be going on in each section, so on and so forth. So they would send me emails of like top Billboard songs that they're very fond of, and they'll be like, hey, we want a record like this, and we want a record like this, but maybe not lyrically. They'll be like, pay attention to the energy of the record, or pay attention to how the drums move, or something like that. And if it is lyric, it'd be like, oh, pay attention to the cadence in that one, blah blah blah. And we want something kind of along that lane. I think like, they're a huge fan of like Doja Cat and like old Beyonce, like Love on Top vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like I think this go around we had to do vibes like Rihanna, Bitch Better Have My Money type vibes. You know what I'm saying? So like very old to us, but like that style is still very fresh to them over there. You know what I'm saying? And plus there's a lot more musicality to the records. You know what I'm saying? So like that really takes the energy up a lot. But so I would send in demos, and then like they'll send it back with like an edit chart, and they'll be like, okay, we liked the intro and the first verse, but when the hook comes, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? They're very descriptive as far as that. Without a situation though, sending in records was a bit harder because just trying to catch the formula, you know what I mean? It's like 5 to 6 people in the group. So you got to think like 2 people are probably going to be rapping, and the rest of the guys are going to be, or girls are going to be singing. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a lot of dancing. So they want a lot of breakdowns and stuff like that. So without a situation at first, it was a bit hard just catching on to the formula, because, our formula over here in America is real ABC, you know what I'm saying? ABC, real repetitive, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you notice in K-pop, like every 8 bars is changing constantly, you know what I'm saying? You don't really go back to anything, you know what I'm saying? So like, if you do go back to something that's a new sound, or it's a lot of things subtracted in that section, you know what I'm saying? So, which is one of the reasons why I like Young Thug, which is like 2 different sides of the spectrum, but Young Thug always changes every 8 bars, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's his cadence, or whether it's the beat, or whether it's how the 808 is going. So that kind of like got me into the zone of like, okay, well, change every 8 bars is kind of cool, because it's just keeping the energy high, plus them dancing, plus them rapping, you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. So, with the situation, it's a bit easier because they're describing what they want, but without it, just pay attention to what's going on with a lot of your favorite groups as far as the formula they're using. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So I got a couple questions on some good things you said, man. The musicality of K-pop is different than the American, scene that we're used to. Everything. I feel like the American music, for the most part, not to put everybody in the same box, but it's pretty linear, if that makes sense. I mean, from a producing standpoint. So, well, that's just my take on it. I feel like the song structure is a little bit more predictable.
I agree.
Not that it's bad or anything. It's the music we know and love, but I think that's what kind of got me and him kind of roped in, because we love the technical side of the music production, and we noticed the quality first. We saw some switch ups with songs, but I want to kind of backtrack on your story, man. You talked about kind of having a situation. Let's talk about this. How did you go from a music student or a guy that was just making beats probably at home or at a studio to working with bigger, higher caliber artists? For all the young producers out there that might want to know.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, basically, I'll give it to you from top to bottom. So basically, my first situation was, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the guy named Jukebox, but he produced Whip My Hair for Willow Smith and a lot of the Mindless Behavior records that came out when they were popping. So he was my first label, or, you know what I'm saying, like production deal situation. And so I ended up, it was a bit of a problem because I was in Orlando and he was in California. So I ended up having to go to California. That's what really pushed me to go out there. And, because a lot of placements that happen is really like relationship based. You know what I mean? That's really when I learned, it's not about what you know, it's who you know type vibes. And a lot of people just want to have a friendship, you know what I mean, really outside of music, you know what I'm saying, versus it just being a whole strictly music thing. So I ended up going to California, linking up with a ton of people under him. Back then, you know what I'm saying, it was an up-and-coming artist under Disney called Coco Jones. That was like one of my first bigger sessions at Disney. And I ended up linking with her. did a few sessions with some writers at Aftermath and that worked with Dr. Dre and all of that stuff. And then I ended up getting out of that deal and just doing a lot of things independent now that the exposure was coming up. And then my manager had a friend that lived in LA, but he ended up moving to Seoul, Korea, and he ended up getting a job at SM. He did a few things over there, and I guess they were like, hey, we want to start Americanizing our sound. This is like late 2014, early 2015. And he was like, he asked my manager, did he know of any people that, can help out? And, they recommended me. That's when I got the Red Velvet placement and did that. And it was like, listen, he killed it on the Red Velvet joint. Mind you, it was a lot of musicality in that record too. If you ever listen to it, it's called One of These Nights by Red Velvet. But a lot of musicality there. That's what won them over. And they were like, "Hey, listen, will you be interested in having a production situation with us?" I was like, why not? You know what I'm saying? So ended up signing that through the guy that got us the situation. I will say his name, but he ended up getting fired from SM. So I don't know how they feel about that. But
right.
Yeah.
Ended up getting under his situation. From there, I did EXO. They Can't Break Me Down on the Exact record. I did EXO 2 on the other record that came out. I did obviously the NCT. I helped out with some stuff on BTS co-production wise. Shinee. I ended up linking up with Mike J. Who turned up the music for Chris Brown. Vito the singer. We did a ton of stuff. And that's really how Maurice Moore, all of us just kind of we were going to Korea heavy and just linking up with one another. Jaco Lawrence, he's the actual guy that wrote Focus for NCT. Ended up meeting him, and he's all the way in Barbados. And we would just link up at SM and just knock out a ton of stuff. And that was just how that got started and, how it really came up from there. But even before that, when I was doing the independent thing, I had got records with T-Pain, and I worked with Drugs that produced for Ty Dolla $ign. We had did some stuff for Red Bull, some projects over there at Red Bull. He's actually the one that got me the Iggy Azalea placement. Laven Kali, he's an up-and-coming artist at Interscope, or was up-and-coming artist at Interscope. He recently left. I don't know if you guys, I know you're famous on YouTube a little bit, so I don't know if you guys know Futuristic and Devon Terrell, but I did a lot of their projects coming up. So, that was even before that. But working with Devon Terrell even kind of helped me exercise the musicality and not being afraid to be melodic, in records, because sometimes being over melodic can kind of intimidate a lot of artists here, a lot of writers here. So you got to dumb it down, which is why I was so in love when I found K-pop, just because it was something I actually enjoyed making. I love listening to rap, I love listening to R&B, but it's just very mono. It's really no elevation in it. You know what I'm saying? And just finding K-pop, just a genre I actually enjoyed making was just everything for me. So I just kind of devoted all of my energy into that.
Yeah,
amazing.
That's dope.
Man.
That's
you were
dope,
naming
man.
some of my favorites too, bro.
You
I was
just named some of the greats.
Yes, bro.
Like some of these people performing in front of 100,000
easily, man.
Man, have you got the chance to go to any K-pop concerts?
I haven't actually gone to any K-pop concerts, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I haven't gone to any K-pop concerts, but I've definitely met a few of the groups. Even I don't know if G Soul's with SM, but even me and G Soul.
Yeah, we're familiar.
G Soul, he wrote Chill for EXO and with me and Maurice Moore. So even linking with him was amazing. Meeting EXO, they autographed everything for us, and they was the bomb. You know what I'm saying? But it's all love over there. I haven't been to a concert yet, and I'm a little jealous y'all about to hit the BTS joint though. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah, man, we're gonna be at the BTS joint.
Yes.
It ain't nothing. It's just we
just
gonna
a little something.
just a little something.
Stop by,
man.
say what's up.
but nah, man, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm heavy into filmmaking and everything, so I want to put together a short film of our entire trip, man. So I want to share that with you, man, and potentially get some feedback and all that. Though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
man. So I've got a ton of questions, man. So someone with your caliber of experience and the things that you've done, you could easily feel like you've arrived. But I can tell that you are extremely humbled and that you still have a lot that you want to accomplish. So what are some of the things that keep you going, or is there like a dream group or project that you're looking forward to in the future?
Man, I mean, right now, as far as like dream projects go, I'm really aiming for. I mean, this is really outside of K-pop, but I'm really like aiming for Taylor Swift right now. I'm trying to get some stuff to her, but as far as K-pop goes, I want to land a few more with NCT and EXO. Those are kind of like my top favorites. I get a lot of offers all the time for all types of K-pop acts, but I like going for those projects that's really, really, really tough to get on. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I could deliver on that level. You know what I mean? And even like BTS, I want to get more vibes with them. That's really just 100% Droid on the production, because like I said, I do a lot of co-production as well. That's really how I stay steady in the K-pop. If I'm not doing it by myself, then I just want to see where anybody else need help at. You know what I mean? And just try to help out there, just to keep myself, relevant, I guess, on the scene. But yeah, Taylor Swift is kind of like my top goal right now that I'm trying to reach.
Nice.
I really like those projects that's gonna get me the respect out of anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could produce for a rapper, you could produce for an R&B artist, but if the respect isn't following after what you did, then it's really just kind of like a microwave situation. You know what I mean? Not to knock anybody, but it's like here today, going tomorrow type vibe. And I really just like aiming for those timeless records, which is like why I'm surprised that people really like Focus so much, because it was just so different than what you would normally hear from NCT. Like everybody would think urban pop, we're coming hard with the synth lines and everything. But I really wanted to come different, like with more of like a lo-fi R&B vibe, you know what I mean? Because everybody really liked hearing R&B from NCT, and even like hearing R&B from EXO. But, I don't want to bring that same American formula, to them. I just wanted to kind of touch on something different. So kind of like tapping into that lo-fi chill vibe was just a bit different for me. And I felt like that record was more of a hidden gem in that album. But, a lot of people was gravitating towards that song. So, I appreciate you guys and the fans, that is really making that song pop right now. So, yeah.
Easily one of my favorites on the album. That one, Lemonade is another one.
Yeah,
but when
goes crazy.
Yeah,
that does banger.
God,
but when I heard Focus, like the first time we ever heard the album, we were in my basement and we were doing a workout. So the album started off with a little bit upbeat, and it's like, okay, that's matching our tone and what we're going through. We're doing a circuit, and even when Focus came on, I was like, ooh, like, which one is this? I'm like, I gotta go back. And as soon as we were done working out, it was the first one I went back and played by myself. And I was like, this is smooth, because I, just like you said, like, I love getting R&B from NCT and EXO. And before we started the K-pop journey, I wasn't a huge R&B guy until, I heard it in the K-pop formula. And this guy right here is an R&B king. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if he loves it, like, it's quality.
Oh, yeah. That was easily. People was sending us messages like, hey, Fredo, you going to like that Focus. I coined the name Captain Fuego for a reason. It's the R&B, you know what I'm saying? It's smooth, super smooth.
Low-key, it was hard for me to find a song on the album because we named it Chill, and they changed it like the day of, I think, to Focus. So like, I'm like looking for the song, I'm like, yo, where's Chill at? And they finally told us, like, oh, we changed it to Focus. And I'm like, oh, okay, word. And then I finally found it. So that was crazy though, that they named it that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super dope, man.
Yeah.
Talk about your process of actually making a beat. Like, how does it work for you? Do you hear like a sound and you get inspired, or do you start with a melody, or do you start with drums? How do you talk about your creative process?
Well, usually, I'm not really going into the process knowing what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you actually know what you want to do, you kind of like limit what can be done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really going into it kind of, playing with some sounds, playing with some progressions, seeing what touches a certain spot, soul-wise, heart-wise, or what triggers a certain emotion that they're looking for. And then I start there, because when I'm creating, I'm not really like trying to make it something. I really want to embrace what it's becoming. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and then
good.
go from there. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that's really my process. And I don't really start with drums. I mean, it's not really a specific thing. Like, do you start with drums or do you start with keys? It's whatever I feel like at the moment that is going to trigger something. So sometimes it could be keys. Like for Focus, it was the keys, a little synth pad that comes in on a verse. It was really just that and like the drums. And then I just was listening to that for a couple of days. Mind you, it took us like 2 months to work on that record. So like, you know, I was really just listening to that for a few days and then like adding stuff day by day as I was listening to it. I'm like, okay, this is sound fire. I mean, let me add some slap bass. Let me add, you know what I mean, some guitar. And guitar was like the last thing I added when it was already accepted and already was getting processed. I sent it to my man Garrett, who was on tour with Lana Del Rey right now. And I was like, yo, could you add some guitar on there right quick? And he was like, oh yeah, like he killed, and he was even scared to do it because he was like, yo, I don't even know what else could be added. But he added it, and it added such a brightness to it. You know what I'm saying? And I just was like, wow, like that's it right there. And I sent it in, and like they were like, yeah, this is crazy. So like, you know, it just depends on, you know, at the moment. But you know, I'm really just going into it trying to embrace what everything is going to become. You know what I mean? I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just testing out progressions and seeing what emotion is going to trigger. You know?
Yeah, for sure. And just to kind of dumb things down, like Music 101 for some people, we do have some people who are musically inclined and then others who might not know, you know, even what you're talking about remotely at all. So as far as as far as production goes, you know, are you involved with just making the instrumentals majority of the time? Do you throw in your own lyrics sometimes? You know, how much are you involved in the song holistically?
I'm definitely involved with the lyrics. I mean, I wrote the raps on NCT Focus, so that helped out with a lot of the writing on, you know, the EXO songs I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually in some of the backgrounds on EXO Chill song, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So I'm definitely involved with the writing side. I don't really, because I'm getting writers that are experienced and like really know how to deliver, I don't force myself into that side unless like, you know, I just see a space where I can fit in and I'll be like, hey, you know, let's try this. Let's add that, so on and so forth. Like, you know, with the NCT, with the NCT record, I probably wouldn't have been on there if, you know, they wouldn't have said they wanted raps. And I actually sent it to the writer and was like, yo, you want to add the rap? And he was like, yo, bro, don't you rap? And you do it. And I was like, all right, bet.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's really just feeling it out because I'm already a part of the record with the music, so I'm not really like forcing it with the lyricism. But you know, I'm definitely tapped in with that though.
Yeah. I wonder how much of your original lyricism is used versus kind of Tae Young and Mark Lee grabbing bits of what you said and kind of making it their own. Do you know how much they kind of they do that or what?
I mean, I want to say, if I had to put percentage-wise, I want to say maybe 45 to 50% of our lyrics was in there, but the cadences are the same, like 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, even when I play the English version, like, I don't know if we're on Twitch yet, but even if I play the English version, you'll hear, like, a lot of the words, and, like, you'll be like, dang, they said chill there, but they said focus there, you know what I'm saying? Or it would be some stuff I said in a rap, but they kind of changed it, the words to kind of like fit in their language as well. And even when I'm writing the songs, I'm already knowing like they're going to change a lot of the stuff to kind of fit their language, but they keep some of the English stuff in there to kind of keep the authenticity and the swag in there, you know. And plus people say, you know, I even heard it in Spanish too, that the English kind of sounds better when you keep some of the stuff. So,
nice.
You know what I mean? I definitely rock with it. But yeah, I think about like 45 to 50% they kept.
That's dope.
That's super dope. Now, are you an artist yourself? Do you put out your own music like under your name?
Yeah, definitely. I don't drop music that much, but I do put out music. I think my most recent project I dropped it's called Cloud9. I actually did a collab project with Brian McKnight Jr.
Okay.
And we dropped a whole like a little pop, urban pop R&B vibe on Apple Music. It's on Spotify and all of that. That's like my current project. And I also have a group called 907 with the VN at the end, and that's more like an R&B group, vocals and like talk box vibe, but we kind of put like a pop R&B element to it. So 907, you can look that up as well. They're bomb group. We still kind of like molding some things over there, but I definitely want to be releasing with them more. But yeah, I got a few records out.
That's awesome, man.
Man, that's crazy dope. We might have to do a music video collab or something,
we
man.
gotta do
I'll come up to
something,
where
bruh.
you at, man.
Yeah,
I'll pull up on you.
we sure will,
I
bro.
gotta come out there so I can see the fam too.
Oh yeah,
both,
for
bruh.
sure,
Both.
man.
Yeah,
That's dope.
we
That's
ready.
dope.
Yeah,
So I think this is be a good time to jump into like some of the production.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so we'll have to end this stream on YouTube so we don't get the axe. YouTube will give you the axe.
We done got it once before, bro.
Yeah.
It felt like we was really locked down. We was coming in the studio with our backs against the wall. Fredo had phone books taped to his stomach.
Yeah,
everything,
bro.
I had the shank on me, bro. YouTube shut us down for 90 days. People were like,
jail up there.
Yeah, man, I did that bid, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't going back.
I ain't going back either.
Not going back. You know what I'm saying? So,
Sure ain't.
hey, so if you're watching on YouTube, jump over to Twitch. You know, we're gonna get into some of this copyrighted material.
That's right. If you
And
want,
then I can get a little bit more loose. I feel like I got to be formal on YouTube. Like, yeah,
Okay,
my name is.
get a little loose, Fredo,
Yeah,
man.
get a little
Come on.
loose.
Yeah,
You know what
bro.
I'm saying?
So I just put the Twitch link in the YouTube comments. So everybody who's watching live on YouTube, go ahead and join on Twitch. It doesn't cost you a dime, just costs you some time. Sign up, follow us on there, and we're gonna get into some of this production of the song Focus. So we'll go ahead and end this real quick and get into the good stuff, man. I see this. I love seeing the screens, bruh. Like we
Yeah.
watch a lot. We watch a lot of the uncuts where they'll have like NCT in the studio and it'll show like the vocal lines and all that. And that's my favorite thing to look at. Like how many times did they layer it? Who is where?
I seen your uncle. He was like, man, I want to see that screen more.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I love
man.
just sitting in on sessions, man, for sure. All right, let me know when we're off YouTube so I can shut mine down too.
Yep.
All right, we good?
Yeah, we good on YouTube.
All right, we are officially off YouTube.
Cool.
All right. So,
loosen this tie up.
all right. So I love music, obviously. I started to mess around with Fruity Loops. I was a beat maker for one day. I I downloaded Fruity Loops. I'm like, all right, let me go get these illegal packs. You know what I'm saying? I got all kind of illegal drum kits. I had about 10,000 sounds up in there. I'm messing around in Fruity Loops for like 4 hours. I got to
Hey.
I get some cereal. I come back. I'm like, that's all I got, man. It's been about 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, you know what? I don't think this is my thing, man. I tried to get a sample in there. I couldn't get it to match up with the beat. I'm like, you know what? I can't do it all, man. Let me just play to my strengths and stick with this camera stuff. I can't make beats. So we're going to let the expert
Yes.
do this, man. What program are you using, man? What's your process?
I'm actually in Logic Pro X right now. I'll bring it a little closer so you guys can see. So I'm in Logic Pro X. I actually just transferred over to Logic Pro X because I was a Logic 9 head for like
Ooh, me too.
ever.
Me
like,
too.
There was no, like, I still have Logic 9 on my other laptop. But like, man, Logic Pro X is definitely, there's a flow there that I like. And I'm still like learning it a bit more, but just the overall sound I'm getting when I'm creating is just tough, man. I just like, it's strong, like everything just hits hard. It doesn't really tamper with the naturalness of the sounds that I'm importing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not warping it in any way, it's not upping the velocity when I didn't want that or anything like that, which is like some of the problems I was having in Logic 9. So, you know, I like, but I did start off in Fruity Loops though. That was my first official program I started in. Then I moved to Reason. I liked Reason. I would have been there still, but it was just too much wiring like going on. Like, I just had to, you know, I didn't know nothing about patch bays at the time and like unplugging what goes where. So then I ended up going to Logic where I could still be more involved with the compressors and the EQs and stuff like that, but it wasn't too complicated as far as like patching goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's super dope. That's super dope, man. So I'm going to let you do your thing, man. You talk us through the thought process behind this track. It's an amazing song. Yeah, you do your thing. The floor is yours.
Hear some of that English version of it too.
Okay, yeah. So I'll play the English version straight through.
Okay.
And then I'll kind of just break down like what I started with, you know, and just going over everything, what I felt during each part, why I added certain stuff and all of that. So here's the English version straight through though.
All right. Hey, bro, hold on.
Hold on.
Bro, I would have had trouble letting the English version go, bro, because that's a hit in itself, bro. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's
wow.
it. Was that you singing on R&B?
That was singing. That was me rapping.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, the singer did his thing too.
Oh my, both of y'all.
Both of y'all.
Y'all could have just put that out. You might be on the Billboard #1, bro. I'm telling you, that's a hit. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's
they going
it.
crazy in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man. And they might just think about it. They would have never had the opportunity to hear that if it wasn't you sending that DM, man. So mad respect and mad love to that, because I know some of these people have been what they call N-citizens forever. You know what I'm saying? They've been rocking with NCT, and you know they didn't know anything about the writing process, anything about the beat making, and they would have never heard this version of the song, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Thank y'all for tuning in live. We're still going. Make sure y'all give him a follow and support him. You know, the follows on Instagram gives a little bit more clout. Give him some clout.
Yeah,
he already got the clout, but you know what I'm saying? Get him up to 20,000.
Yeah.
Man,
40,000.
Get him to
Follow
20.
him on Instagram. His information will be at the bottom of the description after the video is posted.
Yeah, we're going to put it on there. Man. Oh my gosh, bro.
So like, you know, as you can see, like, you know, the cadences in the record was still the same. You know, about 45 to 50%, like I said, of the words were kept. Especially on the rap, they did a lot of changes with the words, but like they kept the cadences, you know, and like even there with the raps, I didn't want to be too aggressive, and I didn't want to do the hop flow like the Migos flow or anything like that. I wanted to keep it real hip hop, real smooth type. You know, when I was writing it, I was thinking like Loon or like a Mace or something like that, where we could still feel the aggression, but it's not too aggressive to where a lady can't feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, you know, but so in this record, like I said, like we started off with the pad because they wanted to kind of have that, you know, when they pitched it to me, they said they wanted something real lo-fi R&B, and like, you know, lo-fi, you know, kind of gives me, when I hear lo-fi, I hear like a lot of side chain on the melodic chords and stuff like that. I hear like a lot of portamento. If you don't know what portamento means, it's like really like gliding on the sounds and stuff like that. So the first sound I started with was the pad. This joint. So I'm just playing this, and I literally formatted the whole song with just this sound. Like after I did this, I'm like, okay, what can I go to next, hook wise? And I kicked it off with the drums too. I think was just this.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of the beat, is that synth that came in the beginning, and then the guitar that you threw on there too.
Hold on, we losing a little bit of volume.
Because it breaks off into that radio-friendly groove, you know what I'm saying? Like, we bringing in a snare that's familiar to people. We bringing in that hi-hat pattern that's familiar with people, you know what I'm saying? So it's not really all musicality at that point. It's more so like, okay, now we want to catch the average listener at this point, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I thought that was fire. Right, and then I think the hardest part was the bass, because I didn't want to use too much sub bass, and I didn't want it to be like an 808 bass track, you know what I'm saying? So like bringing the slap bass in, like for those who don't, I mean, I do play bass, so like bringing a slap bass in but making it tasteful was kind of really my challenge, because like I don't think it's too many. I mean, I don't want to say I don't think it's too many people, but I think let me word this right. I feel like we're so used to 808s, you know what I'm saying, and like a sub taking over that, you know, filling up everything else. Like we're just, it's certain things that we miss out on, like note wise, that can really like intrigue us. So like I came in with the slap bass, and like that, I think that was the second thing I added, because I didn't want to do 808, and I thought it was going to be a challenge. So I did that first.
Yeah, so oh snap, we losing a little bit of your volume.
I don't know how. I wonder what's causing that.
Yeah.
He grooving. He can't even hear us.
Right.
He reliving the moments. Look at him.
See the slap comes in on the pushes and the beat. Bet, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I feel like the pushes needed to be there just so like we can get that average listener in the groove. Like, okay, yo, this might be a vibe right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before we break off into the patterns that they're familiar with in the drums. You know what I'm saying?
So explain the term average listener as opposed to someone with more of a musical ear. Does that mean that it's just more common in what you hear in other songs?
Yeah, so when I say average listener, and I hope I'm not offending nobody.
Oh, no, you good. Yeah, you good.
So when I say average listener, I'm saying that the person that's more used to radio-friendly patterns, you know what I'm saying? When I say that, like, you know, you like Amigos or like a Travis Scott, like something that's more, it's more predictable. Like you know this pattern, it's familiar. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to add something that was non-familiar, but I wanted to give some pushes in the beat that is like, oh, yo, every time it pushes, it's like, oh, I ain't got no choice but to move on this because it got that push in there. Because I wanted to make it feel like if you was in a club or a lounge and you hearing a live band do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think people gravitate towards like live instrumentation or live shows. Like you guys gonna see BTS live, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm sure you guys gravitate towards that. Like I mean, one of my favorites is J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? So like J. Cole's like band is like off the chain, you know what I'm saying? So like I wanted to give that feel like, okay, if I went to a club or a lounge and I heard this, is like, oh yeah, this is it right here. You know what I mean? But when that hook come in, they just break off into that radio-friendly groove that we all familiar with. And it's like, okay, cool, I can rock with this, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And even in the rap part, like I came in with a more radio-friendly groove.
All right, when you play the music, for some reason we kind of lose a little bit of your audio. You might have to turn it down.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. Something
or move the phone closer. Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me try that. Let me bring y'all closer.
All right, man. Snap.
He brought us too close.
Right. He kind of smacked it on the desk. Darius's iPhone just low key just went boom.
I'm trying to figure out how to get. Oh, there we go. Here we go.
Okay, there. All right, there we go.
I thought I cracked my phone. Okay, let me know.
I thought you did too, brother. We good.
Yeah, the volume going down a little bit.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, there we go.
See, now the pattern is real familiar here. That's where the raps are, and I wanted to keep that aggression, but still have melody in it. You know what I mean? And like we kind of did a Boys to Men vibe with the background vocals on that bridge part, which is really that was also a last thing we added because I felt like it was very empty in the bridge. So we came with like a Boys to Men vibe with the backgrounds. That kind of filled up a lot of space in there and kept that atmosphere chill, you know what I'm saying? Because that was the whole point of the record. Like I wanted it to be I didn't want it to be an R&B song or sexual or too sensual. I wanted it to be one of those songs where I just want to link up type song. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really too many songs like that where it's like, yo, I just want to link up. I want to chill. I want to vibe. This and that. It's always something sensual or sexual or something attached to it. So I wanted to keep the energy of the song medium. You know what I mean? Like at a medium place where it's like, okay, it takes two to make whatever else is gonna happen next to happen next. You know what I'm saying? But it's all a matter of this, how this vibe is gonna go here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I love now that you're painting the picture, you're explaining the vibe that I couldn't describe that I was feeling when I heard the song, and I only heard it in Korean. But that's the vibe, you know what I'm saying? That's the vibe I was getting, you know what I'm saying? And I also like how you're pointing out the different layers of the track because I'm a real big sound guy. So that background, that Boyz II Men background you just played, a lot of people, if their ears aren't good enough, they won't catch the thickness of that, or they won't hear how, you know, you combining that with the instrumental and then the actual vocals all come together as one until it's broken down. So I mean, I'm telling you, bro, this is what I love right here, is the breakdown.
Absolutely.
Yes, because I'm so curious about these instrumentals and these songs, and I'm like, man, I just wish I could just hear each line and, you know, separated like a surgeon. You know what I'm saying? I need it in pieces. Yes, this is awesome.
Yeah, I love the fact that you said that, you know, it took about 2 months to get the song done. For producers out there, can you give some type of advice? Because, you know, ultimately our goal with this is to help somebody out. You know, of course, we loving the content. We want to hear from you. But if you could give some game on like patience when it comes to making music and making a song that really sticks.
I mean, number one, patience is key. You know, even with this process of it taking 2 months, you know, it was a matter of just doing what's best for the record and what's best for the song, with keeping your authenticity in it, with having a piece of you in it. And, you know, you want to constantly replay and just make sure, you know, you've either added enough or subtracted enough. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to overproduce. It's not your show and it's not their show. It's our show. It's a marriage. You know what I'm saying? A track is nothing without the words, and the words is nothing without the track, you know? So it's about making a perfect marriage, you know? And sometimes it takes 2 months. I've had, you know, K-pop records that, you know, it only took 2 weeks, but, you know, even that, you know, I'm just listening back and making sure I'm adding those breaks so they can hear certain words. I'm making sure that I'm doing things in the beat that are complementing what's being said, or, you know, that can give them that edge so they can dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about us coming together and making sure you know, we're making the best product at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had a tendency of overproducing all the time. Like, I would freaking put all my ideas in a record, dude, and it would sound like the live arrangement. Like, oh, okay, well, maybe we should say this for the stage type vibe. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not really always about getting everything in there, but start like that though. Get everything in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, get it all out, you know what I'm saying, your system, and then sit back and be like, okay, is this too much? Like, is it too many sounds going on while they're trying to paint a picture in this first verse? Is it too many sounds going on? Is it too much bass movement going on while they're trying to get this hook off? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you saving all of the good stuff for the bridge? Because, you know, they got to put a bridge in there. So you want to save a lot of that sweetness and that sauce for when we get to the part that they really going to show off singing that as well. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just make it, you know, just being patient is key, you know, and like, not everything is going to take a day. Not everything is going to take a month. You know, I know cats that worked on records for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just about making sure that we're coming out with the best product. And that's even lyrically too. You know what I mean? To even songwriters out there, you know, don't choose a word or a lyric because it rhymed or it was just an easy flow. You know what I'm saying? It's like, sometimes it's not going to be a rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not going to be a flow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about making a statement at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that the picture you're painting is vivid. You know what I mean? And you want to be borderline poetic and non-poetic at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have words that's going to make somebody think and maybe paint their own picture or their own interpretation until they hear you or interview you. And then it's like, okay, well, I was on point or I wasn't on point. But either way, it got you to the point where your imagination was working. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. Hey, you know?
Absolutely. So I got a huge heart, man, and I love to give back. And just to tie in a little bit of our story, man, we had an idea, you know, with him being a filmmaker, me being an artist, and we had 2 other guys with us. We started up a studio in Middletown, Ohio. Things started happening real fast, and it didn't work out. And me and him got to the point to where, I mean, higher faculty was about to be shut completely down. And we sat down one day, man, and we did a reaction to one of the NCT songs called 90s Love. I don't know if you've heard that one. Very good song. But the next day, man, we had 100 subscribers. We went from 28 subscribers to 100. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because my heart is with the fans that we have, and I don't even call them fans. I call them fan members, because without them, you know, we wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today. They kept us going when it was very, very hard for us starting off in you know, the beginning of our journey. So what I want to do is, we're still live in the Twitch chat. If any fan members out there have some questions, you know, maybe some topics that we didn't go over, I want to definitely get a couple questions from the fan members to you directly.
Yeah.
You know, just as an appreciation for all that they do.
Because I'm chilling right now, so I got
yeah. So please type up some questions, fan members, and it's just to show our love and support for every one of you, just for sitting down and watching and sending us messages and, you know, making fun of me and Fredo on the daily, you know, just keeping us going. So I'll open up the floor. I'm going to read some of these questions to you. So I think they're
listen,
about.
Before you start, that NCT project, is that the song? I mean, is that the project that Not Gone is on?
Not Gone? Nah, I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
I don't think Not Gone is on the sticker.
I think y'all played that in the live not too long ago. But I did that record too. But it was with the group called the Kappa Group when I was a part of that. But
it was a group called what? You cut out for a second. What was that? You cut out for a second when you was talking about the group you worked with.
No, I'm saying that you played the song Not Gone, I think, on one of your recent Twitch lives.
Oh.
From NCT, I was saying I did that song too when I was with a group called the Kappa Music Group. And
okay.
That was also one of my first ones as well.
Okay. Yeah.
That's dope. That's super dope.
Hey,
we over here bumping your work. Don't even know it.
Didn't even know it. Wow. So I'm going to read some of these questions. So one of them is, wow, they want the whole list of all the K-pop songs he did, because I'm going to review his work and style. I mean, I don't know if you got them all off the top of your head right now.
He kind of mentioned some at the beginning, but you can give him the rundown again.
Yeah, I mean, just the hottest ones were They Can't Break Me Down by EXO. That's on a repackage. Chill by EXO. Red Velvet, one of these nights. I forgot the name of the BTS record, but I'll get that to y'all so y'all can let them know. And it's a Shinee record. I think it's called, I want to say it's called Beat It. I'll look that up too, because me and Vito, the singer, did that as well. But I mean, and if you do want to study my style, like, everything is very urban percussion wise, but very soulful melodic wise. You know what I mean? Like, I like to keep the hard hittingness in the drums, but you know, I just change my patterns here and there, but you know, nothing that nobody's not familiar with. But it's really just the melodicness, like my progressions and everything is just always very soulful. So I mean, just study a lot of, you know, I listen to a lot of funk, I listen to a lot of gospel, I listen to a lot of R&B, you know what I mean, and this and that. So, you know, just studying those progressions, but not being so predictable in the way it's being played. Because if you listen to a lot of R&B now, like, you can kind of tell the progressions that's going to be used. Like, everybody's using kind of like the same chord progressions and all of that stuff. So, like, it's really just really studying those, you know, not really those complicated chords, but those complicated chords that you can really simplify and put it in your own work, you know what I mean? But just keeping that soul in it, because that's really what people like and want to feel, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah. Bro, we're tripping.
Knock On?
Yeah, I thought you were saying Not Gone.
Not Gone. That's what it's called.
Bro,
he walked in today.
I did that record.
Bro, he walked. I'm not lying to you. He walked in today. I was setting up. I had the Bluetooth blaring some K-pop.
I'm done with Droid.
And he was like, "Bro, you ain't been bumping that Knock On."
Let me tell you, bro. You made Knock On.
He said that today.
Yeah, listen, me and this dude named Gene Noble. Gene Noble wrote it, but listen though, the beat changed a lot though, like from the original version. Like one day I gotta go over the original version of that joint, because like literally at that moment I was leaving the group, so like we had to change a lot of the stuff because I didn't want to leave a lot of the stuff I did on there. But I gotta play you the original one, like that original
Droid.
one, bro. Oh
my God. Don't do it. It's gonna ruin me. Bro. I kid you not. We did Knock On the live stream yesterday. I probably played it 15 times in the last 48 hours. I just keep starting it over.
So he has the sound that you love.
Yes.
And I love too, because I swear I'm like, Not Gone. I can't remember.
Yeah, I was like, we don't know what NC.
No, because I named the song Not Yours originally, so I thought they kept the name, but it's Not Gone. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah, that was
wow.
today, bro. I'm literally like an hour ago.
Bro.
He was like, you ain't been playing that Knock On? I'm like, we did that yesterday. I really can't remember.
And I said I got it on repeat.
Wow, yo.
Oh
that's crazy.
gosh, I'm done with this dude, bro.
That's crazy.
Oh man. So let me scroll through. Let me see. They said, have you ever considered working with any K-hip hop artist?
Actually, that has never been brought to my attention. So I actually would love to work with some K-pop hip hop artists. For real, for real. That's never been my attention though.
So you also got the banger type beats in your arsenal?
Oh, I got the man. What?
Oh yeah.
Bangers.
Okay. So I really just asked the barber if he knows how to do a fade.
Some stuff to LC so I can see what the flow really like.
Bro, send me something,
yeah,
bro.
it's on like
my,
that,
it's
bro.
on. It's on, bro.
Man.
It's
on.
on.
Don't
Send
say
me,
that. Don't
say
you
that,
can't say
bro.
that unless
Don't
it's gonna
say
happen.
that.
Cause
Send me something and we there, bro.
Yeah,
no,
I got heat.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, hold on, wait 2 seconds, cause my mom keep calling me, y'all. I gotta tell
take care of Mom Dukes.
Yeah,
I'll talk
take
to
a
the
break.
Twitch chat. Take
Bro,
a quick break.
Twice.
Oh
Mom,
my
on this
goodness.
interview, you keep
Checking
calling
these batteries.
Okay, we're gonna look at our camera batteries.
I'm gonna call you as soon as I'm done.
Okay.
All right, I love you.
I love you too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. I'm
Bro,
sorry, y'all.
No, man. That's one thing about our channel, bro, is we're real authentic. I remember when we first started, me and him weren't going live, and we would like mess up the intro or be stuttering and stuff. And then we finally just looked at each other and we was like, bro, we don't got time for that. Like whatever, if we mess up or whatever happens, like we're putting it out. So you can answer the phone with Mom Dukes. We done had people walking the stream. His daughter was doing cartwheels in the back of one of our videos. We just kept it like, all right.
Yeah, man. For sure.
So you Gucci. Yeah, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got some questions for you too.
Yes, hit them up.
I'm here.
All right, man. So you said you play bass. Have you heard Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak's new album, Silk Sonic?
Listen, I don't even want to talk about that project right now because those guys are geniuses when it comes to freaking what they do, bro. Like especially Anderson .Paak. Like I've literally watched Anderson .Paak when he was, I don't want to say nothing, but from the start to now, bro. And like he's always been a genius. Everything he put out, I love, you know. And Bruno, obviously, like this dude is like a melodic genius as well, like sent from the God. So like them two coming together, bro, is just like ridiculous. Skate off the chain, you know what I mean? Like leave the door open off the chain, you know what I'm saying? Like leave the door open is the type of vibes like I gravitate towards when it comes to the K-pop vibes. Like I don't know an American producer that could have delivered Leave the Door Open as good as they delivered it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was dope, man. They got a song called After Last Night on this album, and it's got Thundercat and Bootsy Collins, two of like the most notable bass players that I know.
Bootsy Collins is
man, that I'm not even really like, I mean, I'm big on instrumentation, but I don't know much about bass, but I'm like, yo, that's one of the funkiest bass lines I have ever heard. And I'm like, man, I wonder how he feels about that, being a bass player and a music producer.
He's a legend, dude.
Man. Man.
We'll do one more question. So they're curious about your influence and your favorite artists. I know you mentioned one of them earlier, but they might have joined the stream a little bit late.
Man, my influences. I mean, I know I said I wanted to work with Taylor Swift, but I wouldn't consider that an influence, though. I think producer-wise, Pharrell, obviously, a GOAT. Timberland is who I studied since I can say Timberland.
Did you read his book?
Darkchild, who's also on the favorite album as well, like Darkchild, which kind of like shocked the hell out of me. I'm like, dude, I'm on the same project as Darkchild. That's crazy.
Yeah. He produced Favorite.
Yeah, listen. Even a lot of my homies, like Ayo, the producer, he does a lot with Hitmaker. I don't know if you ever heard the tag Hold Up on a lot of Hitmaker songs, but that's Ayo, the producer. My boy Keys, London on the Track, that's the homie. Like I'm always influenced by him. My boy Styles Fuego. I don't know if you ever heard of Rice and Peas. They do a lot of K-pop stuff as well. Like I love their style and how they do. Yeah, it's a ton of people. I mean, but I'm gonna tell you this though. The number one person that really made me tap into my musicality was my boy Laven Khalid. Y'all gotta look up Laven Khalid, bro. Like Laven Khalid, he's an artist, but a phenomenal musician as well. Like, and this dude literally like changed my life from the moment I met him. And he did a lot of K-pop stuff as well. I think he wrote on They Can't Break Me Down as well with EXO. But he changed my life as far as like tapping into that musicality and not being afraid of what I bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? Not always trying to dumb myself down to sound like the masses. You know what I'm saying? And so definitely Laven Khalid was a huge influence. And also a guy named Kevin Camp. He produces for like a lot of gospel artists like Israel Houghton and John P. Key and stuff like that. But he's from my hometown, and he was the one that actually influenced me to start getting into music production. He got me my first programs and, you know, told me the laptop to get and all of that stuff. And like just watching him and, you know, being under his leadership, you know what I'm saying, just really skyrocketed me to be who I am now. And so like, you know, I'm even working on the Taylor Swift stuff with him, like just trying to pitch some stuff to Taylor Swift with him. And this dude plays like acoustic guitar, bass, piano, organ, all types of stuff, you know, and like it just drives me to be better and better and better. And like you said, LC, like I do feel like there's more to be done, you know what I'm saying? Like even though I've accomplished so much, you know, like yeah, I got 10 plaques or whatever and I went Billboard #1 twice, but there's people that got 80 plaques in their cribs and Grammys, you know what I'm saying, and all of that stuff. So it's like, yo, I can't stop there. There's so much more to be done. But I am learning to, you know, pat myself on the back here and there because I used to be a workaholic and like not live my life, you know what I mean? And I can't even really say I'm living my life now, but I'm learning to back away sometimes to have some fun and live because I create off experience, you know what I mean? So like, I even appreciate you for noticing that as well.
Yeah, man. Especially when you text me because I was excited and I was like, you know, what's your website? I want to check out some of your beats. And just your response just literally, it was life-changing for me because you were like, you know, I keep, you know, to myself, you know, I've made a way for myself to where, you know, I don't have to be forced to create. And when you said that to me, I was like, that was a goal that I didn't even know I had. Like, for personally, I'm like, wow, like, because you can tell when it's forced and you can tell when it's coming off natural. So I automatically just admired you just from that one response. I mean, we're just like 5 or 6 texts in and I'm like, wow, like this man is coming from a place of peace of like, you know, he's made his accomplishments. He's extremely humble and he's in control of his gift and his destination. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this is a brother I need to meet for sure.
Yeah. For sure. I wasn't included in those texts, but he told me that. No, he told me that and I respected it too. Yeah. Because I was like, yo, how can we check out some of his beats? And he told me that. I'm like, I understand. Yeah. You know what I mean? I understand from a creative perspective. It's like that's your dream is to work with the clients and stuff that you want to work with. You know what I mean? Like not anybody off the street can just work with me because they got money. You know what I'm saying? You're not motivated by that. It's like you're motivated to work with, you know, your dream clients, your dream 100. You know, you mentioned Taylor Swift. You know, that's extremely specific. This is what I'm going to do. And I can't wait till you get there, bro, because honestly, that's how achievement works. Like the more specific you can get, you know, the more likely you are to achieve that goal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's another thing I want to say to up and coming producers too is know exactly what you want out of this. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to really tell myself at the end of the day, whether it's 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I want to be able to say I did this, I did that. You know what I'm saying? And like that's gonna help your path moving forward. Like only work, you know, on things or only work with people that's aiming towards that goal. You know what I'm saying? And you may have to deny some things. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's not an opportunity for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? You have to be cool with that, even if it's at a time, bro, when money is low and this and that. That just means when you do get that opportunity and money is high, be smart with your money. You know, all that money I get, I invest in properties, bro, so that I don't have to worry about bread ever. I can just create freely and not worry about secular responsibilities. So like, be smart. It's not always about, I just caught the chain this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, So it's like it's not always about looking good and all of that. It's about being smart, so you don't have to worry about that stuff no more. Or it's always gonna be a grind, and your hair gonna be falling out trying to figure out the next move and this and that. Where you can be smart with your money and build a portfolio, invest in different things, so that you can create stress free, bro. Like that's what it's about. Because it's a whole nother level that you're meant to tap into, bro, and you're never gonna tap into those things if you're constantly worrying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, just when that opportunity comes, bro, be smart, bro, so you can tap in the way you meant to tap in, you know?
Yeah, for sure, man. And me being in real estate, that was another thing that made me say, man, he's got his head on straight. You know what I'm saying? Talking about real estate investing. You know what I'm saying? Not blowing the money. I'm like, bruh, yes, we're on that same wave. I literally was running late here because I just closed a real estate deal on the way. Like I still got my dress pants on. I got the higher faculty on up top, but I got my dress pants on down low. You know what I'm saying? I know the camera is only here up, but I was hustling like I gotta get there. You know, I'm sitting there signing docs. Cause that's you know what I'm saying? That's what we got to do. We got to break these generational curses, man, and create this generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So yeah, for sure.
That's dope. That's dope. Did we cut you off as far as breaking down the beat? Cause I feel like he wasn't even finished.
Yeah.
No, listen, I definitely tapped into a lot, but if it's things you want to hear, I'm down to play it. I'm down to go through it. If they got anything they want to hear, I'm down to play it and go through it. I'm literally like, I booked time just for this, so I'm not in no rush.
Yeah, for sure.
What are your thoughts on the just real quick? What are your thoughts on the NCT 127 members and their talent? Like once you heard Mark Lee and Tae Young and all them, you know, get your song back to you. What are your initial thoughts?
Man, like these guys are freaking amazing. I mean, I love the smoothness in everybody's voices. I love how they're not afraid to tackle certain notes. They're not afraid to tackle certain cadences. I mean, even watching them record, you know, even watching them record Favorite was just like, dude, like they're not afraid of anything. Like even if that note is like literally at their breaking point, diaphragm wise, like they go push, do their thing, and like those guys are amazing. And that was like my second time working with those guys. So like, you know, I'm just always expecting the best when I get some stuff from them, and even EXO too. Like, you know, I'm just always expecting the best from them. Like those guys really push the limit, and even with, you know, they push the limit on every side of the spectrum, you know, with their health, working out, you know, fashion, all types of stuff. I done seen albums get pushed back because they had to work out more and this and that. So, you know, it's just every level of it they're pushing and they're going hard. So, I mean, but my initial thoughts getting the record back was like, wow, they really like killed it, like from start to finish. Like this joint is bomb. But I didn't think it was gonna be people's favorite though, and I didn't even think it was gonna be technically the fourth single. And like, I honestly thought it was gonna be an album filler. And like, even me being track 4 was just like, wow, like, okay, cool. Because when they had me write a whole write up about it, like a 2-sentence write up, and I was just like, dang, like this is weird. Like they never had me do that before. And I had to do it for that record, and like seeing it being track 4, because I'm usually like always like track 7 or something like that, you know what I mean? But like even being higher up in the list, because that matters, believe it or not, you know, just surprised the heck out of me.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. And when we do our album flows, we're really big in particular on the flow of the album and the energy that it gives. And until you said that, I didn't know that there was much importance besides, you know, maybe like the first 1 or 2 tracks to really get you in. So for, you know, that song being number 4 and still being up at top tier, man, it just solidifies that it's a banger, bro. It really is. I mean, it really is, bro.
I appreciate it.
Talk to me about going to Seoul, Korea, man. What inspired that, and what was that experience like, man?
Wow. Man, dude, Seoul, Korea is like one of a kind, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That flight going there though is a bi, but
yeah.
But getting there was so much love. I mean, I'm talking about like high school kids after school is like crowding the record label, bro. Like trying to get pictures, trying to get in. I mean, it was really hard to leave on some days, but just the love you get, bro, like it's just totally different. I mean, like even with the few records I've gotten out there, I've even been considering like recently, like, yo, I gotta get a crib out there, bro. Like, I gotta be back of that out there. You know what I mean? Like just the love is just crazy. I definitely want to tap into learning a bit more Korean. Like I'm not even gonna say I know it fluently yet, but I want to tap into that because being out there, you definitely got to communicate. You know what I mean? And like obviously, like being an American, it's a acquired taste to some people. You know what I mean out there. So like, knowing the culture helps. You know what I mean? Saying who you work with helps. Like every restaurant we went to, we had to say, "Oh, yo, we're SM producers," and I'm talking about like they treated us with the utmost respect. I mean, whether it was a club, a hotel, a restaurant, they're like, "Oh, we got SM producers here." They was giving me sandwiches in the club, and I've never had a sandwich.
That's what's up, man. That's dope.
What? That's crazy.
It was crazy. Like it was, and I've been there like I want to say maybe like 2 to 3 times. So like, and even the creative process at the label, like dude, we were writing songs on the roof of the label, bro.
Wow.
We done wrote songs. We got our own studios when you get there. Like every producer got their own room. They just switch out the writers with the producers and stuff like that. But, Teddy Riley was there when I went one time. And, like, just even knowing that, like, because, believe it or not, like, tapping into K-pop and overseas stuff, like, really happens, like, later in a person's career. But it happened early in mine. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that was just a blessing in itself to just know, like, man, Teddy Riley's here. And, like, even seeing that I was on the same album as, Dark Child and all of that stuff, just seeing that those people are tapped into that. And I was into it early, and like I'm getting exposed to them early because I know now, like being a 4th single, now I'm really getting those eyes of those people that I admire, and like, my dream is to work with a Timberland and a Pharrell, and really Pharrell is number 1, you know what I'm saying, and all of those guys. So like, now that we're placing even higher on these projects, man, like I know the blessings is gonna come.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just man, but Seoul, Korea is the bomb, bro. Kid you not. The bomb, you gotta go, bro.
Yes.
Oh, we will go.
We will go.
We will go. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate the insight because it's always kind of been a thought in the back of our minds, but it's like it's time to start planning that, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Also, too, I didn't get I don't know if you were gonna ask this or not, but anybody that's really trying to get songs to SM, and any label at that, because there's other labels like Juba Music and a bunch of other ones, but start off just, and I'm talking about if you don't have a situation, start off by just looking up the songwriters, who wrote the song, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of those songwriters were, Taylor Parks, Shaylin Carroll, she used to be signed to Cash Money and stuff like that, but just look up a lot of these people that wrote the songs and, like, reach out to them on their social media or look up the A&Rs or the people that facilitated a lot of those places. They'll be counted as a writer as well, or the translator will be counted as a writer as well. Tap into that person as well and try to get in through that door. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not impossible, you know what I'm saying, if you don't have a situation. So, like, but the easiest way is to, like, look up those songwriters and just try to get in through a co-situation. Like, oh, yo, can I send you some records? Or if they need help with writing, are you interested in co-writing? A lot of people are going to want to hear your work, this and that. But, don't be afraid. But just know, like, when you get that opportunity, come with it. But definitely look up those execs, the translator or the person that facilitated it, the writers, even the producers. Like, if it's not obviously a bigger name like Dark Child is going to be hard, but look up, like people like me, it's not going to be that hard to reach, you know what I'm saying? So, like, if you look at their Instagram and it's 11K or less followers, then 9 times out of 10, you could be able to reach them, you know what I'm saying? And, like, shoot them a DM, yo, listen, I'm interested in working with you, blah, 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 see you did this and that. And, you know what I'm saying? Just cross your fingers, you know what I'm saying? But at least start blazing that trail that way, you know what I'm saying? And but yeah, if you don't have the situation, I say start there. And you can find all of that through the Wikipedias. Like, look up your favorite albums, go into Wikipedia on the track listing and just find all of those people, you know what I mean? And just start tapping in.
So I got a question along those lines. So if you were to send a demo in, does it have to be on an original beat? And you know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't send in a demo off of a beat that you just downloaded off YouTube, or would they still take that and then tell you that, we'll take the lyrics, but we can't use that beat? How do, you know what I'm saying? How's that work?
Yeah, everything got to be original. Nothing from YouTube. If they find out a person has been exposed to the beat already, they're probably going to be like, nah, never mind. It's never been a situation where, at least for me, it's never been a situation where they'll take the lyrics but not the beat. So try to keep everything original. Even if it's another producer, if it is a producer from YouTube, listen, reach out to that guy, you know, and do what you got to do. Like, if he's not on board with like taking it down because of the opportunity, then you know, if you really believe in it, buy it. You know what I mean? Like, get the stems, get the exclusive rights. You know what I'm saying? Buy it. You know, if you don't want to go that route, as far as an exclusive buyout, lease it for a second and be like, yo, let me lease it for like 6 months, shop it. If it gets picked up, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll work it out from there. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, try to like build a lot of this stuff from scratch, or if you're not building from scratch, just make sure it's not music that's already been exposed. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep it in the vault. You know what I mean? And if it's really a record that you know can go to the top, don't expose it. Hold it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may not happen in a year. It may not pop in 2 years. I've sold beats literally that I made 6 years ago recently, like over the past few years, versus like stuff I'm making now. You know what I'm saying? So like, you can, and that only means that you're ahead of your time sonically. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, just keep building the catalog. But if you got those records that you know are it, put them records in the vault. And those records that you really not get bites on, cool, put them on YouTube. And you know, I don't even know if they got, I don't know what Johnny Giuliano used to be on, or Sound something, I forgot.
SoundCloud.
But, you know,
SoundClick, I think.
SoundClick, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Johnny Giuliano.
.com.
I don't really be on it that much, so I don't know what's the popular thing.
Yeah, that's dope,
Johnny
man.
Giuliano used to run that though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I
Yes, he
remember.
did.
I remember. That's back in the day.
I was
Back when-
rapping over his tag beats.
Yeah, man. Back when folks was on LimeWire, just downloading all type of viruses.
Yeah, man.
Nah, man, we appreciate this opportunity, man. You've been dropping a lot of jewels, man. I hope this helps and benefits somebody in the music industry, or somebody who's interested in producing, beat making, songwriting. Me personally, I'm super inspired. Like, I'm ready to just hang up and start making something.
Yeah, bro. The same, man. We're going to be talking to you about what equipment we need to invest in, because we've been getting the runaround when it comes to recording and the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'd rather just sit down and figure out how to get recordings good enough, you know, ourselves, than to be bouncing around to different studios and relying on other people. So we'll definitely touch base about, you know, what equipment that we need, and then, you know, upload some videos to continue to help people. But yeah, we want to make sure we got the right software, the right mics, all that stuff.
Definitely, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Is there hold on, you got something?
No, I was just gonna say, you know, I think this can be an ongoing thing to where we can do some projects together, or, you know, retouch base. You know, you're obviously going to continue working as well as we are, and, you know, I hope this isn't the only time we get you on the show, man. For sure.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I want to be here more, so I'll be
absolutely.
glad you said that.
Absolutely, man, and definitely gonna do some stuff in person. But do you have any questions for us before we close this thing down?
Wow, I get to ask y'all questions?
Yeah, man.
LC, have you released any music yet?
I have music. I have 1 EP and 2 singles on Spotify and Apple Music right now. If you type in LC, you heard. So my musical journey started when I was in high school. I came over to my friend's house one day, and his mom like used to have this work headset or something, to where it was like the plastic piece on one end, and then the little, you know, I'm talking about the
customer service joint. You was rapping on
joint.
the customer service headset.
Yeah, and he had a Dipset beat on, and I came over there to play the Madden, and I'm like, "What you doing, bro?" He was like, "Man, I figured out how to make these vocals go on top of this beat," and I was like, "For real?" Sat down with him, wrote something, and they was like, "Hey, man, you kind of all right." Like, you know, some people was off beat, some people's rhyme scheme was just, you know, real kindergarten type, but they was like, "Man, you kind of came with it." And I would do that periodically, and it got to the point to where, you know, I started taking it more seriously. So I get to college, and one of my friends bought a mixer that I still have to this day, bought a mic, all this other stuff, brought it over the house, and just left it in my room. And I taught myself how to record on GarageBand and Logic, and we just started cranking mixtapes like crazy. I mean, it became a ritual to where, like, people at Indiana State were expecting us to drop a new track each week. It was like, bro, come with it. And, you know, fast forward a couple years down the line from that, I ended up taking all that music offline, man. My heart changed. You know, I gave my life to the Lord, and a lot of the things that I was rapping about were just very secular. And I'll never forget the day that I came home and my brother was playing one of the songs in the kitchen, And my mom was cooking. She was doing something at the sink. And some of the lyrics I was saying, I looked at her face, you know, when I was saying these things, and she put her head down and just, you know, shook it left to right. And I was like, all right, I'm done. Like, if I'm going to do this music thing, I got to do it the right way. So that's why I took a lot of that music down. I'm in the process of rewriting some of that right now, just because they were good records. And if I can reword it the best I can, I still plan on putting it out. But from there, you know, I got with this guy. We shot a couple music videos, cleaned up the content. I still got boxes of notebooks of just raps and, you know, different poems and stuff. And, you know, that was our plan with Hire Faculty. Me as the artist, him as the videographer. Then we had 2 other producers working with us. And, you know, COVID hit. You know, we had to find a way to pay the bills. We didn't know it was going to be through reacting. And now we're just now getting stable enough to where we're like, all right, we got to take this music thing serious again. So that's where I'm at.
That's funny that you said, you know, you giving your life back to the Lord, because my mom is an evangelist.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know, I mean, even with that being in my mind, you know, I just always wanted to make sure the energy I was a part of, like, you know, as far as like where I'm submitting beats, what project I'm submitting beats on, I wanted to make sure the energy I was a part of was just always positive in a way. Like, she's not even all too against for me, you know, doing R&B, like, or writing songs about love or any of that, because God is love, you know what I mean? So, like, she's not too far-fetched from that, but, like, you know, rap, that's kind of like pushing it depending on who it is.
Right.
But, you know, but she likes Drake, she likes Big Sean and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So, like, she's not too far-fetched on what's going on, but she just wants to make sure that the energy I'm a part of is crazy. So that's crazy that you said that.
Yeah, man. And it's not like I'm super duper religious. Like, I won't come in the room and smack you across the head with a Bible, but you know what I'm saying? But, like, I definitely, if I see an opening, you know, I will share my testimony and, you know, just try and, you know, shed light. And ultimately at the end of the day, it's just to help as many people as I can, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's dope. That's dope, man. And the reason I kind of jumped on board, you know, supporting you as an artist was because of the energy you was putting off. It was positive. And like you said, you wasn't smacking me with the Bible, but I listened to the song and I'm like, yo, that's a vibe. But, you know, really wasn't talking about nothing too crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, more recently in the news, man, it's sad to see another rapper lost his life, man. And
Yes.
I'm just, at this point, I'm tired because, like, hip hop is a part of our community, man. It shouldn't be a dangerous occupation, but, you know, I feel like it starts with the content and the message that you're putting out, man. So if we can help kids, you know, understand that you can make it and you can make music, you can be creative, but you don't have to commit to putting out certain material. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I would love to be a part of, you know, long term, like missionally, you know what I'm saying? So,
well, you already got it started if you want to tell them about, you know, the Marshall High School, essentially.
Oh, yeah. So essentially, like, for the next 8 weeks coming up here soon, you know, we're going to be teaching a class that's combined in video production and audio production, and the students will get a chance to essentially produce music and learn the fundamentals of filmmaking. And at the end of the class, we're going to have a music video and everything. But at our core, you know, we just want to plant the seeds. I don't want to dictate any content that anybody makes. You know, music is subjective. Creativity is subjective. You should always have the freedom to be you.
Mm-hmm.
But with the youth, man, I just really want them to be conscious of what they're putting out, because that energy will be returned. You know what I'm saying? So if it's positive, it'll come back to you. If it's negative, it might come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just want to use any. What was that?
I said I gotta be a part of that. I gotta do a class there or something, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
man, don't say that, because
I gotta be a part of that, bro.
No, I appreciate that, man. We'll talk, man. If we can work something out, or get one of them beats that you got from 2011 with dust on it, you know, hey, for sure.
Yeah, man. The biggest thing I'm excited with that, just to piggyback on what you're saying, is like the mentorship aspect. You know, he has a freelance skill of film, and then the other lady that's going to be teaching, like, she's even going to be teaching like stage presence and, you know, fashion and songwriting and everything that goes into that. And I'm going to sprinkle in and help her there. But like he said, my main purpose is just going to be there to kind of sprinkle in the mentorship, not to smack you upside the head like, hey man, quit talking about cars and clothes and girls and stuff. I'm just going to challenge these young, men and women to, how about you tell your story? And, if you cleaned it up a little bit, you could reach an audience, where a family guy like me will play it in the car, as opposed to being like, oh, I got to listen to this when the kids are asleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to stretch their thinking. So yeah, if you definitely got a good heart and a purpose.
There's other words out there.
Yeah.
There's other ways to make your lifestyle cool. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be a street thing or a shootout thing or a club or a popping bottles thing. You know what I mean? There's other ways to express that with different words, So, study, different words. A lot of youth, especially out here, like, are lazy, bro. They don't, they think when school is over, and they don't want to get into a thesaurus or a dictionary or poetry or just reading books, period, that got scenarios where you can use those same scenarios in songs but apply it to your truth. You know what I'm saying? So, just exercising that as well. Don't be lazy, bro. Keep reading. Even if you ain't reading a book, make it an audio book then. Listen.
Yes, absolutely. You got to keep getting better, man. And it's like I hated school and reading myself, but when I graduated, I picked up books. I read Think and Grow Rich, after I graduated college. A guy like you had to get on SM's website and research and look up Wikipedia. Like, it's information, knowledge is power, and it's not always about a book. You know what I'm saying? So if we could plant them seeds, man, to just keep growing, man, the world would be a better place.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Is it anybody in the comments got anything for this man? We don't want to take up too much of his time. He got a business to do.
Yeah. Someone wanted to know what it was like working with SM, but I kind of feel like you already answered that.
Yeah, I mean.
So you might have to just watch the playback. Somebody got to watch the playback.
Yo, I was gonna take a bathroom break real quick.
Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Man.
I'm gonna think of something to ask this guy.
Yeah.
That Heineken getting to me, Doc.
For sure. Would you ever want to produce for aespa, NCT Dream, or Wavy? I mean, those are all SM groups, and he's kind of done work for SM. So I think it's really up to them who they choose to give his music to. But I don't know exactly how it works. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I want to know why his name is Droid, but he got an iPhone. I'm going to ask him that when he gets back.
I love the structure, too, of the song, Hyris. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we could ask him about that.
He kind of already went over that.
Yeah, he did, man.
Who's his bias in NCT? I'll ask him that.
While he was making the beat, I didn't get a chance to tell him about my favorite part is when the song comes in with like a verse, right?
No, it just comes in like boop, boop, boop.
I know, and then it comes into
and then it's
Is that the hook or is that
no, that's going into the verse.
That's the verse.
So the hook starts when it's like I can't wait.
Yeah. So after I think it's after the hook, it's like that little pause. And then the strings come back in with the drums.
That's another verse. And then it's got that bridge part.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. It's like that element of suspense and surprise. The beat just kind of cut off. Yeah. And then you get them strings kind of coming in. He used a term that I've never heard before. I don't know what it's called, but I know what he was talking about, the slides.
Mm-hmm. We got questions, bruh.
Okay, I'm here.
We want to know why your name is Droid, but you got an iPhone.
Yo, so in 2009, right? This is when like Androids first came out. I don't know if Verizon was the first one to drop them, but this was the ones like it was slide up like this, right?
Yeah.
So I would buy like every Android that dropped, I was buying it. And this girl named Susan, who later on in life ended up becoming like a DJ for Britney Spears, but obviously like Britney Spears isn't doing too much right now. But she ended up becoming a DJ for Britney Spears, and we in the car, and she was like, "Yo, you always got an Android. Like you might as well just call yourself Droid and just drop the I and put a Y so you won't get sued." And I was like, "Man, that's not a bad idea." And I told my mom, and my mom was like, well, you know, like droid means like not human. And that means like any idea that you come up with is from a higher power. Like, you know, in our case, it'd be God, you know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
it's not like a self thing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow, like, all right, cool. So I ended up just going with droid.
That's
I like
dope.
it, man.
I love the
especially
name,
with the meaning.
man.
Yeah.
I'm an Android
Listen,
guy.
though, I thought
personally.
about changing it so many times, and every time I think about changing it, everybody tell me don't.
Nah,
Yeah,
man,
man.
it suits you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to bust anybody's bubble, but Android is better than iPhone. I don't care what nobody say. I got both though. You know what I'm saying? I can
Yeah,
text
you
with
got
the blue
both.
bubble and all that,
Believe
but
it or
whatever.
not, iPhone use a lot of Android technology though, like
Yeah,
you know, well, they
y'all-
used to
Yeah,
chip wise and all of that stuff. So you know, they got the M1 chip now. So
man,
yeah, I mean, things hit different.
Y'all just now getting the little customize your home screen and all that. We was doing
That's
that
true.
in 2008. It's all good though, man. Whatever.
Hey, they want to know, do you have an NCT bias?
So-
And do you know what that means?
So like a favorite person from the group.
Mm-hmm. Do I have an NCT bias? No, I don't have one.
you don't got one.
If it was one though, is it Tae Young?
Yeah, that's the leader.
It would be him if I had to choose.
I thought that he was my bias in the beginning because like the first couple songs we heard, I thought it was him. And you know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know what the term bias meant. Like everyone was just like, you know, using all these K-pop terms. And I'm like, no, I'm really rocking with Tae Young. But it turns out who really chose me was Do Young. And the reason why I thought it was Tae Young is because Do Young was the dude in the back doing the soft vocals behind him. And I was
Right.
like, that's my guy. You know, I was like, vote for Do, bruh. I'm starting a whole
Tae
campaign.
Young, bro. I feel like Tae Young like really surprises me sometimes with the role he plays in certain records. Like you would think he'll be doing one thing and he's literally doing the other. And like it's not really a consistent role in every record. You know what I mean? Like Tae Young just, you know, he just surprises me, you know, and I'm just like, man, like if anything, if I had to pick it, it'd be him.
Oh, yeah. That's a solid choice, man. Super solid.
That's dope. That's super dope, man. I like Hey Chan, man. He sings the high notes and he's got that light, airy voice. Because I love R&B smooth vibes, man. So anytime we got them song switch ups and then it goes from a banging beat to a slow jam and then they got for a second and then they got Do Young or Hey Chan or Tae Yil singing, I'm like, yeah, that's the flavor for me.
Yeah, they got a lethal combination, man. They just got weapons, bro. I'm telling you.
Bro, they got a song called Love on the Floor that's just off the chain to me, bro. I love that record, bro.
I haven't even heard that.
Yeah, we got to check
We
that out.
gotta do that.
His joint, but that Love on the Floor goes crazy, bro.
Yeah, definitely got to do a reaction to that super song.
Yeah, man.
Well, hey, I don't have anything else, and it definitely sounds like we'll be excited to get you back on the show. Definitely keep us updated. We'll I guess we can go ahead and add Fredo to the group text if everybody think that's cool.
Please, man. Please.
I don't want him to be looking at me funny. Like, you know, normally we come in and we instantly start joking. He's just been extra quiet. I'm like, yeah, man, you excited about the Droid interview? He's like, yeah.
Yeah,
You don't say nothing else after that. I'm like, yeah, you know, I think we're going to ask it.
Yeah.
Listen, I also want to say, too, congratulations to y'all. I think y'all one of the first to actually have a SM or a K-pop producer on a platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a lot of research. I haven't even seen any producers like tap in with, you know, reactors, but, you know, I've seen you guys and I just love the energy. So congratulations to y'all for even this
Thank
happening.
you.
Like, I know this is just as big for y'all as it is for me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
So how did you find us? How did you find us?
Well, I actually, the dude Jaco Lawrence that wrote the song Focus, he sends me a lot of the reaction videos to Focus. So, and he was so surprised that every person had nothing but good things to say. And you were another one that he sent that I came across. And I watched it, and like, what really gravitated me to reach out was, you know, I look at it as a Black-owned business, you know what I'm saying? I just thought, like, man, like, their energy is good. It's a Black-owned business, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, man, like, it's only right that I do it, you know what I mean? And the fact that y'all really dug in that album and found my gem of the song, because, you know, like I said, it's not like Sticker, not like Lemonade. It's very different, you know what I mean? And the fact that y'all gravitated towards that and it gravitated to y'all, I was like, man, I should reach out, man, and just see like if I can get on there and just chop it up with you guys. So like, man, you guys are doing great things. I even continue watching y'all. I subscribe to y'all joint. I watch every time y'all upload. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, he's a faculty fan member. Y'all heard it first.
Your wife says she call you Kermit sometimes.
Hey, she do, bro.
Yeah, that's dope.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan. Like, so I really, really, really appreciate y'all for allowing me to be here and just talk. And I don't want this to be the last time. So definitely
no.
As often as you want to have me, bro. Because
yes,
I love what you guys are doing for real.
Yes, for sure, man. Likewise, bro. Likewise.
Yeah,
I felt the connection immediately.
Yeah, man. And just your credentials and the way you're so humble, man. Like you just dropped some big names, and I'm like, yo, the fact that you still have just the ability to sit here and still be hungry, still be willing to share knowledge and information, man, just says a lot about you, man. So you're definitely a person that I appreciate and want to continue to have a relationship with, man. And this is big for us, and hopefully it's just opens up more opportunities for us to just differentiate our content and kind of give back more. You know, I don't want it to just be us just sitting having fun listening to music all the time. I want to get hands on. I want to see these guys making these beats and just sharing what we do, man, with the world.
Right.
Definitely.
The Twitch chat said Droid passed my vibe check.
Hey.
He's faculty fam approved.
Yeah, dope, man.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, man. I guess we'll wrap it up, man. And in the future, just let us know any way we can support you. We will.
Yes, we will.
I don't care if we got to drive to NY. I'll pull up with the camera.
Yes.
SD cards, batteries, all that. Lenses.
Everything.
For sure.
Load it up.
Dude, I would love to do a live podcast and have you guys in the studio. Like,
let's
just
get
for
it.
a whole creative process. Maybe we can plan that next. For sure.
We sure will.
Hey, don't say less. I'm
Hey,
about
bro.
to call you like, hey, I'm ready. You know
We
what I'm
are
saying?
ready.
I'm going to be in town soon. I just accidentally got this ticket.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, we can do that. Good luck for you guys' trip to LA as well.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate that.
For sure. For sure.
I know that's going to be amazing, bro. So, definitely, bro. Soak it all in. This our first time going to LA?
Nah, this would be like my third or fourth. I've been to LA a few times.
I got family and friends out there, so yeah, I've been a couple times too. Yeah. I'm actually going
there
tomorrow.
Studio called Blackwood Studio in Studio City, like literally a block up from Universal City Walk type vibe. But like all of Rihanna's writing camps, bro. Like Jay Pounds, who do a lot of stuff with like K. Dot, Kendrick Lamar. For those who don't know who K. Dot is. Just a lot of work is done. My man Lil Eddie, he does a lot of writing over there. But I know the owners over there, so I definitely want to set up like a walkthrough. Maybe if you guys can hold a podcast or something over there, maybe I can set something up so you guys can do that over there and like make it happen. You know what I mean? That's a great studio, bro. Like, and like I built a crazy relationship with the owners, so like whatever I can do to make that process easier for you guys, like I'm down to do it.
Oh, for sure.
Why
man.
am I
We
trying
in
to
this
hold
together.
my smile in?
Look, I feel like a little kid.
Also, my manager is out there. He's the guy that really like make things happen with a lot of the K-pop stuff, and he really knows what goes on the executive side as well. But he opened up an art gallery in North Hollywood, so like maybe you guys should definitely stop through and even chop it up with him and even get even deeper insight on what's going on behind the scenes and what it takes to even offer situations to other producers and songwriters as well. Like I could definitely link you up with him as well so that you can make that happen also.
I followed him on Instagram too, and I saw him painting on his story yesterday, and I'm like, oh, I was like, he a real artist. Like this man is painting today.
Yo, that man got plaques for days. Like Pitbull, Kesha, Rick Ross, Trina, all the way to the K-pop stuff with EXO, Red Velvet, Shinee, BTS. He's in it all. So like, definitely tap in with that dude and like dive deep, man. Because Vaccine is very, very, very like a high influence in the K-pop side. Like they did an interview with him on Billboard for the most influential K-pop beats like right now, like that's happening. So like definitely tap in with him.
Oh yeah. Let me get my pen and pad out.
Yeah, for sure. We linking up with all these individuals.
Definitely, bro.
Vaccine sounds like he's very safe. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna make sure
Mr. Pfizer himself.
Yeah, he's the cure. Gotta get with the Cure in LA for sure, man. Man, thank all of y'all for tuning in live on Twitch. If you're watching the playback, please hit the subscribe button. You know, if you found value in this, share it with somebody else. Share it with your grandma, auntie, cousins,
baby
all
daddy,
11 of
all
them.
them.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Even if you mad at him.
And let us know in the comments what we failed to ask this man, so next time we can be prepared. You know what I'm saying? If y'all wanted to, like, dang, why didn't y'all ask him this? Engage with us.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments, man. Until next time.
Yeah, man. Been a pleasure, brother. We'll hit you up.
Always.
Take care, man. Stay safe.
And when you come up, stay down. You heard?